त्वमादिदेवः पुरुषः पुराणः त्वमस्य विश्वस्य परं निधानं वेत्तासि वेद्यं च परं च धाम त्वया ततं विश्वम् अनन्तरूप. Now he starts praising him because he has been totally convinced that nobody else is equal to Paramatma in terms of capabilities, in terms of powers, in terms of gunas, in terms of Achintya Shakti and so on. So he says, Tvam Adidevaha, you are the first, the beginner of all the worlds. Adidevaha, of all the devas you are the foremost. Purushaha, Purushaha means Puru means Purna, Shaha means Bala, Jnana, Ananda, etc. So Purna Gunatmaka. Another interpretation of Purusha is Puri Sheteti Purushaha. In that sense it applies to Jiva also, and he stays in every body to regulate the body, but to give the abilities. Puranaha, Pura Anatiti Puranaha, that means you are there right from the beginning. So you have been always eternal. Tvam asya vishwasya param nidhanam. Nidhanam means asraya. For the entire universe you are the main highest resort, you see. And vettasi vedyancha parancha dhama, vettasi, you know everything. Later on also the kshetra kshetrajna vibhaga yoga adhyaya, kshetra is this entire universe, entire world, and kshetrajna is only Paramatma. So you are the knower of everything. And vedyancha, you are also the subject for knowledge, you know, sarva vedaika vedya, vedaika gamya, you see. So it comes in Brahma Sutra, you know, athato brahma jijnasa janmadhyasya yataha om shastra yonitvato shastram yonihi jnapti karanam yasya tat brahma. How do you know Brahma? Only through shastras, vedaika gamya. See, vedyamcha paramcha dhama, you are the highest resort. See, tvaya tatam vishwam ananta rupa. Hey ananta rupa, tvaya vishwam tatam. I have seen you are everywhere. If I see 1,000 suns, if you are in the other universe and in all the worlds, you are there, you are occupying. You may say, you know, some people who are agnostic may say it's all imagination, it's all foolish to say. Only thing it says is there is a power, superpower, extraordinary power beyond your imagination which rules the universe. Only the scientists may say, but many solar systems are being born every day, every second, every minute nowadays. See, they have got huge masses of gases turning around in the space. They are able to see some of them through their more advanced telescopes or scientific instruments. And they say universes are being created every now and then. And our people had, you know, had the perception of it through their yogic power. That's why Paramatma is described as Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. Akhila Anda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. See, number of Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. So, Vishwam Ananta Rupa. He has got immeasurable forms and presentations. Vayur Yamognihi Varunasya Shankaha Prajapatisthvam Prapitamahascha Namo Namastestu Sahasra Kritvaha Punascha Bhuyopi Namo Namaste. So he is so much floored by his personality. He says, you are Vayu, you are Yama, you are Agni, you are Varuna, you are Shashanka, Prajapatihi. Then you are the Prapitamaha, you are the grandfather for everything. He is getting these words at random. He is so much, you know, bewildered and baffled. He is using these. Of course, they may have some significance, but he is referring to him, everything. Namo Namastestu, let my salutations be to you. Sahasra Kritvaha, 1,000 times. It is not enough to salute you only 1,000 times, several thousand times, you see. Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. I will pray and I will offer my prayers to you again and again and again. There is no end to it, you see. Namah purastad atha prishtataste prishtatascha namostute sarvata eva sarve ananta vidyamita vikramastvam sarvam samapnoshi tato mamapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. See, you are namah purastad, in front I say namaha to you. On the back side, on the sides, on all the sides, I pray you. Namaste, so sarvata eva, sarve, all of them are also really saying Namo Namaha to you. Ananta viryamita vikramaha, you are having the Virya, Ananta, then Vikrama also Amita. Samapnoshi tatosi sarvaha. So you devour everything, that is why you are the everything. Tataha asi sarvaha. You are everything, you are everywhere there. You see. Then Sakheti Matva Prasabham Yaduktam. He Krishna, he Yadava, he Sakheti. Suddenly he realizes he has come to his normal senses a little bit. After getting the frightening and the bewilderment and the excitement, he has come back. What have I done to you? I have said, my friend, my dear, Sakheti Matva, thinking that you are my friend. Prasabham Yaduktam, he Krishna, he Yadava, he Sakheti. Krishna is his Vasudeva's sister's son. Kunti is Vasudeva's sister. So I thought you are my very, maybe of the same age group or something like that. So, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakheti. I have used these different terms, many times in the friendship we use very funny terms to call our friends. Then Ajanata Mahimanam Tava Idam Tava Mahimanam Ajanata Maya Pramadat Pranayena Vapi. I have done this calling you by names. Calling by names, some sorts of odd names is not proper when you are meeting a very renowned or highly powerful person. You must show respect. So you must say Bhavan. See, only in Sanskrit we have got Bhavan, Bhavantaha, whereas in English it is only you. In our system we have got respect, Bhavan, Bhavantaha. See, so instead of that, Ajanata Mahimanam Tava, not knowing your greatness, your mahima. Yachapa hasartham asatkritosi vihara sayyasana bhojaneshu ekothava pyachyuta samaksham tatchamaye tvam aham aprameyam. So he says, please pardon me if I have said something very odd for fun, for apahasa, for making fun with you. Asatkritaha, if I have shown disrespect to you. They all perhaps were sleeping on the same charpai or on the mat, on the same mat, or in the forest under the same tree. Vihara shayyasana bhojaneshu. Vihara shayya asana bhojana. While taking food, I might have made some jokes and ridiculed you. Please forgive me for those mistakes. And all that has taken out of pramada and out of the pranaya. Excessive intimacy also makes one say like that, or excessive ignorance also makes one say that. Ekothava pyachyuta tat samaksham ekaha achyuta tat samaksham tat chamaye tvam aham aprameyam. So I have said in front of you like that many times, and kindly forgive me for that. Here he uses the word ekaha and then achyuta. Achyuta ekaha. Ekaha, here you see our Sanskrit is full of etymological, etymological beauties. You see, here the word eka, Raghavendra Swamigalu in his commentary, it's a beautiful commentary worth reading by everyone of all the matas. Ekaha means ka shabdastu karotehe nyantarthat kevaladva dap pratyaya kaha iti kartruvachi कारयितृवाची च ये एकः असहायः कः एव असहायः एव कः कर्ता कारयिता च इति एकः सर्वोत्तमः अन्यनिरपेक्षकर्तृत्वादिमतः एव सर्वोत्तमत्वादिति स्वतंत्रकर्ता सर्वोत्तम. He derives the meaning as sarvottama from the word use of the word eka. So if he had said that you are alone, one would have interpreted to mean that he was all alone. There was nobody to side him or support him. But it may be true, nobody is required to support him. But even a person who is very ignominious or not very respectable also remains alone. He is left by the people in the society. So in that sense he is not using the word eka. By now he has realized that Paramatma is Sarvottama, Sarvatantra, Swatantra. In Sanskrit every akshara has got meaning. Eka akshara kocha are there. So A itself means ekaha. Then ka means karta. So ekaha means asahayaha means without anybody's help you are the karta. You are the swatantra karta. So ekothava achyuta. Achyuta is chutirahita. See, in the beginning itself he used the word achyuta. This is the second time. and third time is the end of the Bhagavad Gita. Senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapaya me achyuta. There he uses the word achyuta without knowing the full significance of achyuta. You are not having any destruction, but you are asking me to destroy everyone and also myself get destroyed. So what is this logic? Why are you doing this? So you put me in the middle of both the warring factions of the Senas, and I want to see them. So don't achyuta, don't make these mischiefs for me, and I would not accept your advice. That kind of message is there in the beginning when he was moha vishta. Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadan maya achyuta. At that time he has got the moha removed, and by your grace, and therefore I am willing to do my duty and do the fight. Here again, after seeing the Vishwarupa, he is again using the word achyuta. At every place I saw you, you are not there somewhere dead or somewhere not existing. So you are achyuta, chuti rahita. See, there are many meanings of achyuta. A is Vishnu, Paramatma. At chutaha, that means you are the incarnation of Vishnu. So at chutaha, achyutaha. And then you are not having any chuti in the performance of your duty. As now you are Sarathi, you are having you are a perfect performer of chuti. So like that, for achyuta, number of meanings are there for achyuta shabda. So here, ekodhavapi achyuta tat samaksham tat chamaye tvam aham aprameyam. See, one is achyutaha, I have begun. Na vidyate chutihi swapadat desha kala gunebhyascha yasya saha. The one who has no deceleration or fall from his position of power by deshataha, kalataha, gunataha. You are perfect everywhere. See, we say chuti whenever somebody falls from a particular position. So he has got chuti. And then desha kala gunebhyascha yasya saha. At Vishnoho chutaha tad avatara bhutaha. Okay. Na vidyate chutam chutihi yasmat saha. By reaching him, there is no chuti to the muktas. Those who go to him, na vidyate chutam chutihi yasmat yam prapya saha anapaya nityapada pradaha. So you, the one who reaches him, would not have any cycle of birth and death. So he will be totally there. For him there is no chuti. Okay, that is another meaning. Na vidyate chutam chutihi ena sannihitaha swaha swasannidhana matrena jayapradaha. Because Krishna was on the side of Pandavas, and those who are near him, who have sided him, for them there is no chuti at all. Then na vidyate chutam chutihi sarathi karmani. He was appointed as Sarathi, and he never failed in that chuti. I mean, people derive a number of etymological meanings to give some sort of richness to the meanings. That is the beauty of Sanskrit. Yatheshtham sthapane prerane cha samarthaha. So when he mentions achyutaha here, he is perhaps meaning all the meanings of the word achyuta. So I have seen you as the provider of moksha. I have seen you as an all-pervasive person. I have seen you as the provider of success to the good people. So you are achyuta. And in your action, your function as Sarathi, I have never seen anything wrong in you. So you are the achyuta, like that, And then you are the Vishnu avatara. Chutaha tat samaksham tat kshamaye tvam aham aprameyam. So I mentioned many times, the Sanskrit is such a beautiful, rich language, and the Sanskrit literature is such a giver of joy. How do we get joy in life? We get joy if I get something which I did not have. You see, if I bring a new television at home, there is joy. If I get a new cell phone, I have got joy. If a new child or the baby comes in the life, there is a joy. You see, whenever you possess something, you get joy. And then richness, material richness is supposed to bring joy. But all those joys are short-lived, and they are explicit in terms of material sense. But the joy which you get by reading Sanskrit literature and understanding different meanings of the words is an abstract joy. I can only enjoy it. I cannot tell you. If I get a television, I show it to you, you also share some joy in it. That is only short-lived. Until the TV functions and goes out of order, that joy goes, and there is a lot of sorrow in it. But the joy which you get by the literature, Sanskrit literature, by knowledge, that is right, by knowledge acquisition is something very profound. That is why he keeps on saying jnanam vijnana sahitam yajnatva mokshase ashubhat. If you understand jnana and vijnana, you will be liberated from all the karma lepas. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara would not be there. Ashubhat vimokshase. You will be freed from ashubha. Ashubha means what? All these again, karma lepas. Karma lepas are kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara. As I told you, I am doing this function of giving the pravachana. If it brings in me a sense of vanity, a sense of jealousy, a sense of krodha, a sense of kama, that I should get more fame, desire for fame, then I would have allowed my karma to create lepas. If I do it as Bhagavad Aradhana, my mission of propagating the messages of Bhagavad Gita, to make others realize its advantages and benefit from it, then I have a more robust objective. So, to avoid karma lepa, and if I do it for the Bhagavad Priti yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. If you do yajna means Vishnu, for the sake of Vishnu Priti, if you do the jobs, then there are no lepas. So, that is why the quality of doing karma is as important as the doing of the karma itself. As Gandhiji says, means are more important or equally important, if not more, than the objectives, the goals of life.
Sir, is there any difference between happiness, joy and bliss?
In my opinion, as a quick reaction, happiness in my view is internal, you see, and joy is the one which can be external, can show. Happiness is internal, joy, and the bliss is of course the combination of happiness and joy, and it is more enduring. We say blissful state, that is the ultimate moksha, is the blissful state from where you do not return. So, the bliss is the highest order of happiness and joy, and joy, Vishaya Abhilasha, then Vishaya Bhoga gives you joy, it does not give you happiness, because happiness is a more enduring internal distance. So, actually later on, I think earlier a sloka has come, yuvantas sukho antararamaha tathantar jyotirevacha. See, Raghavendra Swamigalu, for antas sukha, he says kama krodha upadrava rahita sukha, that is antas sukha. Internal joy is happiness, in my opinion, and that comes when you have made yourself freed from the kama krodha upadrava. Kama krodha upadrava rahita or mochana, from getting yourself liberated. If you feel the joy, then that becomes internal happiness. So, antas sukho antararamaha. Antararamaha means your feeling of security, aram. I am really very secure, nobody can touch me. Many people with children are aram. In the home, mother takes care of their needs, father takes care of the needs. So, I say I am living very happily, there is nothing worried about it. See, many times if you do not do your work and everyone gives you food and so on, we say aram, we are aram se hai. In the office, see, if you are not pushing the files or doing the work, but still the salary comes at the end of the month, then you say aram se hai, there is nothing to worry about. So, that is, somebody is there to take care of us. So, in this case, Ishvaraha mama kshema karta. So, he is taking care of us. At that time you feel aram. That is the meaning which the commentary of Raghavendra Swami gives. Antas sukha antararamaha tatha antar jyotihi. You must realize jyoti, that is the Paramatma, exists within you. If you get these three things in you, then you will be on the path of salvation. So, here the importance is avoid the joys, temporary joys coming from the pleasures, in English language pleasures, worldly pleasures, they are to be decried, and Vishaya Sukha. Vishaya Sukha again has to be interpreted very judiciously. Normal happiness coming from Vishayas is, so you must have children, you must have wife, you must have house, you must have acquisitions, all that is there. But excessive craze for more and more, that kind of Vishaya is decried. See,
Jnana and Ananda,
Hmm.
there is also in Upanishads, after crossing Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, there we enter into the Jnana, that ultimately leads to the Ananda.
Absolutely.
That state is eternal state
That's
that we
right.
call
That-
it.
that's right.
That's
That's right.
I
Yes.
got
Yes, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya.
Anandamaya.
They are supposed to be also the koshas, and also they are supposed to be the description of the characteristics of Paramatma. Mayat Prachurarthe, Pradha.
There are three: Sukha, Ananda, and Paramananda.
Hmm.
Three teams. Is it this is Sukha, Ananda, Paramananda? Three separate what? Yeah, technical terms are
No,
there.
they are all grades. No, they are all degrees.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can tell it that the technical term of Sukha is Ananda.
No,
and,
no.
Yeah.
I think it is better
Mm.
to regard them
Yeah.
as the realizations of happiness
Yeah.
in a stage-wise fashion.
Okay.
Paramananda is the blissful state. You
Yes.
know, that is no return.
Okay.
Ananda is the middle level, and Sukha is the beginning.
Yeah.
We use the word Sukha for Vishaya Sukha also,
Sir.
but we don't use the word Ananda for Vishaya Ananda.
Okay.
You see?
There is one sutra, Sukhanusayi Ragaha. When we follow Sukha, that is called Raga.
Okay.
Towards the material.
That's right. You know, Raga, Raghavendra Swami Guru defines as Ashobhane Shobhanadhyasaha Raga. That means considering something which is not Shobhana, which is not appropriate, considering it as appropriate is Raga. See, if a diabetes patient gets Ananda by taking sugar, by Sukha, by taking sugar, it is, I mean, there is a lot of temptation to eat sugar, but that would not lead him to the Ananda. That's only the Vishaya Sukha. But definitely each word in Sanskrit has got an inner message, inner this one, you know. Etymology is a part, but the normal parlance of usage of the words has got profound meanings of practical value. You see, so Kiritinam, Gadinam, Chakrinam, no, what did you say? Pitasi lokasya characharasya tvamasya pujyasya gurur gariyan natvastamostyabhyadhikah kutonyo lokatrayepya pratima prabhava lokasya pitasi. You are the father of the universe. Then characharasya, both chara and achara rupa loka, you are the father. Tvam asya pujyasya guruhu gariyan, you are also adorable person and you are the guru. Gariyan guru, much higher than the normal gurus, you know. And then nattvas samostya bhyadhikah kutonyo, nobody is there equal to you and nobody is there above you. And lokatrayepi apratima prabhava, anupama aishwarya, having the achinta shakti which is not comparable to anybody's shakti. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam prasadaye tvam aham isham idyam piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyuhu priyah priyayarhasi deva sodhum. Again he is giving to us certain rules of human behavior. As I have been mentioning earlier also, Bhagavad Gita is the greatest treatise on human behavior, on human relations, on managing oneself, on norms and values of life, on psychology, human psychology. You get many messages of human behavior and human relations. You have to draw the inferences from these respective occasions. Tasmat pranamya, since I have realized that you are the greatest personality, I fall prostrate in front of you. Kayam pranidhaya, that means ashtanga pranama. See, pranidhaya prasadaye tvam aham isham idyam. Idyam means idastutau. Idyam means you are the most appropriate person to be praised. See, in life we praise a number of people. In fact, in one of the kavyas it comes, in Raghavendra Vijaya it comes, that the Guru says, why are you living in this world? You have to praise someone who is not deserving the praise. Even if your boss does not have good eyes, you have to praise him as a person with very broad, beautiful eyes from nose to karna. And if he is a most miserly person, but still you have to praise him, sir, you have been such a great generous personality, you have given him some rupees and you have helped him in his crisis, but the most fellow is so stingent, so miserly. So like that, you have to praise someone who does not deserve to be praised. and our life, our everyday life is full of that kind of hypocrisies, you know. But he said here, Puruhu Isham Idyam, you are praisable because you are Isha, you are the Swami of all the people. Now why should I request you to pardon me? Because the rules of human behavior are governed by certain relationships. What are these? Piteva putrasya. The father should pardon the wrongdoings of the son. He must always be a well-wisher and don't get both ways, you know. Pita putrasya, and putra should seek pardon from the pita. So both the relationships are implied here. Sakheva sakhyuhu, sakha sakhyuhu yatha sodhum arhasi. You see, then priyah priyaya, if two people are loving each other, then they must pardon each other. You see, life is full of compromises. If you don't really compromise the wrongdoings of the other person, life will be broken. That is why we see many relations broken. The son moves away from the house, the wife and the husband get divorced for simple small reasons of no consequence. That is because the brothers and the sisters quarrel with each other, because you are not following the principle of Bharatiya Sanskriti, where you are supposed to pardon, accommodate, and work for the others' benefit, work for the happiness of everybody else.